Alright, so I've already done my foundation and concealer just to save time, and I'm going to get started right off the bat by warming up my complexion a little bit with a bit of bronzer. So technically this isn't a bronzer powder, it is a contour, it's Makeup Geek Breakup, and I'm just using it because it feels right today, you know? There's just certain days where it just feels right. I'm using this really fluffy IT Cosmetics brush because it lets you really diffuse color really easily, which is helpful if you kind of suck at putting on bronzer. So I'm doing over my cheekbones, basically the whole side of my face, right there in between my two sides of my bangs. That is the one thing that I hate about my bangs, is it makes putting any makeup in this area so frustrating. Usually I put on blush first to kind of like get the placement down, but I've really been liking putting on bronzer first lately so that the blush kind of sits on top and has an extra little pop to it, you know? So for blush, I am using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Luminous Flush, which is just still one of my absolute favorites. And I'm putting it right on the back side of the apple of my cheek and blending up and back. I'm using the Real Techniques contour brush for this because it's just like the perfect size for being really precise with your blush, but still being able to blend it nicely. And then for highlight, I'm actually going rogue. I'm using an eyeshadow, and this is Makeup Geek Nostalgic, which I just love, and it is so bright. It is a very bright highlight, like that. And it's very shimmery too. I really like it. So that is kind of the cheek makeup done. I might make it a little bit more intense later, but I want to see how the eyes look before like really playing it up. So I'm starting off as always with some eyeshadow primer because I want this to last on my lids all day long. So now I have a really nice even base to start my eyeshadow. So first I'm going in with a real big fluffy brush and Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie. And I'm just putting this in the crease so that I can use it as a transition shade to be able to blend other shades. And I do kind of want to work this up a little bit more than I would normally. Normally I leave it at a very pale peach, but today I want it to have a little bit more impact. So I'm going to be working it up so that this color is a little bit stronger. Now I'm just going to darken up the crease a little bit with Tuscan Sun. And I'm going to blend that onto the outer 1/3 of my lash line as well. So right here, and then also up and into the crease. So right now my eyes are looking very kind of peachy pink, and I'm kind of trying to match my hair and going for like a monochromatic look. So I'm going to be cooling it down a little bit with the color Fashion Addict. And I'm still just kind of layering this in the same half circle shape, just kind of trying to concentrate the darker colors into the center. And you can see I have like barely anything on the brush, and I'm very lightly. I really only want to cool the color down. I'm not trying to make it too purple. I'm also going to take this purple shade right underneath my lower lash line. Alright, so my camera cut out and I'm not 100% sure what's the last thing that you saw, but basically what I'm doing right now is I'm just darkening up the whole look with a tiny little bit of black eyeshadow. So basically I'm applying the black eyeshadow in the outer V of the eye and very lightly pulling it up to create kind of a smoky cat eye. So I'm using this micro concealer brush, which is not typically what I would use. I would normally use like a pencil brush, but this is really nice because not only is it very flat, but it's quite long, so you get a lot of blending while you're doing it. And you can see I've already kind of started on this, and I'm just going to darken up the outer corner. I have the tiniest amount of eyeshadow on here, and I'm like barely touching it to my skin. This is just so that I have a lot of control, and also so that I don't make this look too dark. And you see I'm just following my lower lash line upwards. And it just adds that little extra bit of depth, and it adds a little bit more interest to the eyes. And the last step on the eyes is just a little bit of highlight with the shade Cinderella. I'm just putting a light touch of this right on the intersection of the lid, in the inner corner, and then underneath the brow bone. So I'm just going to finish up this look with a little bit of mascara and my lipstick. So for lipstick, I couldn't find actually the perfect shade for this look. I went first with the Clarins Jolie Rouge Brilliant in Rose Blossom, but it was a little bit too like bubblegummy pink. So to kind of modify the shade to make it work for what I was going for, I just pressed a little bit of Makeup Geek Tuscan Sun over the top so that it blended more nicely with my makeup. But this is it. This is the finished look. My very pink hair, pink eyes, pink lips, pink cheeks. Very pink makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!